Organizing Committee, spearheaded by the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, and also comprising the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission, as well as ECSE licensed broker-dealers, First Citizen Investment Services, Bank of St. Lucia Limited, Bank of St. Vincent and Grenadines Limited, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, St. Kitts and Nevis Anguilla National Bank, and Bank of Nevis Limited. We thank you for joining to celebrate and the success of our participants' hard work today. It is my pleasure to be your MC today. My name is Yuluka Harmony Brown. Please permit me to recognize Juliet McFarlane. She's representing the Ministry of Education, St. Lucia. Also the Ministry of Education representatives, principals, teachers and students of all of the schools here joining us in person as well as online. Our guest speaker, Mr. Cletus Springer. Our specially invited guests, our student participants, teacher guides, as well as their support entourage. Members of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, and particularly the ECCB Corporate Relations Department, and the agency offices in Grenada and St. Vincent and Grenadines, who are helping us host the awards today. Members of the public joining us in person and live, online, and other guests and friends, welcome. Before we start today's proceedings, we invite Janil Montut, hopefully I pronounced that name correctly, from the Vieux-Fort Secondary Comprehensive School to invoke God's presence and blessings on today's proceedings.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this wonderful occasion where we gather to celebrate excellence, innovation, and achievement. We are grateful for the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to challenge ourselves through this investment competition. Lord, we thank you for the minds you have blessed us with, the ability to think critically, to make wise decisions, and to strive for success. As we reflect on the journeys of all participants, we acknowledge the discipline, resilience, and dedication that brought us to this moment. We ask for your continued guidance as we move forward. Help us to use the knowledge and skills we have gained not only for personal success, but to make meaningful contributions to our communities and region. Bless the organizers, judges, teachers, and sponsors who made this event possible. May their efforts continue to inspire and uplift young minds. As we celebrate today, may we do this with humility, gratitude, and a spirit of unity. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you for those blessings. Before we will now have remarks by members of the organization of the Planning Committee, the Regional Schools Investment Competition Planning Committee. We will have Jaron Burnett, Senior Manager Operations Division of the ECSE. He'll then be followed by Samantha Lewis, Head of the Policy Data Analysts and Regulatory Innovation Division at the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission. And this will be followed by Mr. Laurent Jean, Manager Investment Banking Services, Bank of St. Lucia Limited, and current Chair of the Intermediary Working Group. So, Mr. Burnett.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I respectfully acknowledge all dignitaries, distinguished guests, teachers, and most importantly, our brilliant young students this morning. October 19th, 2001 marked a turning point in our region's history. The launch of a securities market in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. This market linked the 8 member territories into a single continuous market with one Securities Act, one regulator, and one exchange. That bold step was more than just about finance. It was about unity. It was about the vision and the belief that together we can build something greater than ourselves. The Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange is not just a marketplace for stocks and bonds. It is a gateway to opportunity. It is a reminder that wealth isn't reserved for a few, but is open to everyone, to all who are willing to learn, to all who are willing to take risks, and all who are willing to invest in their future. The Regional Schools Investment Competition embodies that spirit. Students across all 8 member territories competed together to test their skills, sharpen their minds, and experience firsthand the excitement of investing. Students who participated in this competition had an opportunity to explore a world that many only encounter later on in life with much regret. And here's the truth. Investing isn't only about money. It's about a mindset. It teaches patience, resilience, and courage to act when others hesitate. And these are qualities that you should carry with you throughout your life, whether you choose careers in finance, science, art, or any other field. To all the schools that participated in this year's competition, I say to you, you are all already winners. You've gained knowledge and experience that will compound throughout your life, and just like any wise investment that you could ever make. To carry it with you as you grow older, and let it inspire you to start building your portfolios, your wealth, your future, and your dreams. And today we celebrate not just the winners of this competition, but the spirit of curiosity, courage, and learning that each of you has shown. At your ages 15 to 17, you are standing at the doorway of great possibilities. You've proven that you can think critically and make decisions that matter. And that is the essence of life, not just investing. So now let's celebrate the winners from this year's competition. For the video submissions, Nocturnal Investor of Beaufort Comprehensive from St. Lucia, they won the category for the most creative video submission. While SMSS Prosperity Pioneers of St. Martin's Secondary School from St. Vincent won the category for the most well-presented strategic approach. So let's give them both a round of applause. In terms of overall performance, Boys on the Hill Investment of the Grenada Boys Secondary School captured the runner-up position in this year's competition. And it's with great pleasure that today we recognize Allied Investors of Choiseul Secondary School as the regional champion of the 3rd annual Regional School Investment Competition. So on behalf of the ECSE, the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission, and our 7 member broker-dealers, I extend heartfelt congratulations to Allied Investors, the principal, the teachers, and students of Choiseul Secondary School. Today's ceremony marks the culmination of the 3rd Regional Schools Investment Competition. But this competition will not be possible without the sterling contribution of the former Managing Director of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, Mr. Trevor Blake. Mr. Blake was involved in ECSE and the Eastern Caribbean securities market from its inception. And he provided steady guidance during the startup phase and was instrumental in shaping these institutions over their 25-year history. Some key milestones of Mr. Blake's career was the launch of the Eastern Caribbean Share Index in 2005, the modernization of trading, clearing, and settlement in 2016, the launch of this regional schools investment competition, the continuous increase in listings over the past 25 years, and an increase in the funding raised by governments in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, which crossed the milestone of EC 20 billion in January 2025 under his leadership. From these achievements, it's clear the indelible mark that Mr. Blake has left on the ECSE and the regional securities market. And it's for this reason that we must recognize the legacy of his contribution in a way that lives on. So today I'm pleased to announce that the Board of Directors of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange has taken a decision to name this competition in honor of Mr. Blake. So as a result, this competition will be known as the Trevor E. Blake Regional Schools Investment Competition from the 4th edition, which will be held later on this year. So let's have a round of applause in honor of Mr. Trevor E. Blake. So my parting words to you today is to remember that the best investment you will ever make is in yourself. Keep learning, keep dreaming, keep building, because the future of our region rests in your hands. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Please allow me to adopt the protocol established. It is a distinct privilege to be here today representing the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission, ECSRC for short, as we recognize and celebrate the achievement of these outstanding young participants of the 3rd Annual Regional Schools Investment Competition. I wish to first acknowledge, though, the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, our broker-dealers, educators, and mentors. This initiative reflects what is possible when market institutions work collaboratively to build knowledge, confidence, and participation. The fact that this competition is now in its 3rd year reflects a continued commitment to building awareness, engagement, and investing across our region. Now, today is more than a prize-giving ceremony. It is a recognition of discipline, curiosity, and the courage to engage with something many only encounter much later in life, the world of investing. And what this competition has done is give students an early understanding of how investing works in a practical and meaningful way. Students, you've set portfolio goals, you made decisions based on information and judgment, you responded to what was happening in the market. You saw that outcomes are not always certain. That is real experience. By stepping into this space, you have demonstrated a level of initiative and strategic thinking that sets you apart. You have not only learned about investing, you have begun to think like investors. And that is a powerful distinction. That kind of exposure is powerful because it shapes how you think about investing, builds your confidence in making decisions, and helps you recognize the opportunities it can create. To our winners, congratulations. You have demonstrated focus, discipline, and sound decision-making in an environment where outcomes are uncertain. You should be proud of that achievement. Beyond today's results, this competition reflects an important priority for the ECSRC. We recognize that financial literacy, particularly in investing, is essential to the long-term development of our capital market. Because markets do not simply grow because they exist. They grow when people understand them, trust them, and feel confident enough to participate in them. At the ECSRC, our role is to ensure that the market is fair, transparent, and efficient, and that investors are protected. At the same time, we are focused on facilitating the conditions that support market growth by promoting awareness, strengthening understanding, and encouraging informed participation. This competition is a strong example of that. It has made investing more visible, more relevant, especially to you, our young people, who represent the future of our market. And for those who may not have participated in the competition, this is still an opportunity. Take an interest, ask questions, learn from your peers. And for those who participated, share what you have learned, not just with each other, but with your families and members of your communities. Because when knowledge spreads, participation grows. And when participation grows, markets develop. And in supporting that development, we must also recognize how people have traditionally approached money in our region. For a very long time, we have been guided by a culture of saving. And yes, savings is important. But saving alone is not always enough to grow wealth. There is a natural progression. moving from saving to investing, but doing so in a way that is informed and responsible. And that is a transition that the ECSRC is committed to supporting. So my encouragement to you is simple. To the students here and to everyone who may be listening or viewing, let this be a starting point. For those who participated, build on what you've learned. For those who are seeing or hearing about this for the very first time, take the opportunity to learn more about investing and how it works. Take an interest, ask questions, and take time to understand investing before you participate. Because when you understand, you're better prepared to take advantage of the opportunities it can create. And that is why initiatives like these are important, because they build understanding, they build confidence, and over time, they build participation. The ECSRC is firmly committed to enabling and supporting a market where that participation grows. Let this be a moment that sparks your curiosity about investing. I thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Please allow me to adopt the protocol which has already been established. As chairperson of the intermediary working group comprising the 7 broker-dealers in the ECCU as well as the ECSE, I am pleased to take this opportunity to congratulate all schools, principals, teachers, students who participated in this 3rd annual regional school investment competition. Special congratulations go out to the overall winners, which is the Allied Investors from Schwarzelt Secondary School. However, I would like to commend every single student who took part in this competition. Every student who participated is truly a winner. You are exposed to fundamentals of investing, some things I wish I was exposed to when I was your age. So please accept it and make use of that opportunity, make use of that knowledge that you've acquired during this competition. And I hope you build on what you've learned and build on and start your investment journey as soon as you are old to do so. We, the broker-dealers, are pleased to collaborate with the ECSE in making this competition a success. Kudos to the ECSE team. I know you look on the team work tirelessly to have this be as successful as it ended up being. Also to the broker-dealers who contributed their time, expertise to making this a success, thank you very much. As licensed brokers, one of our most important mandates is to increase financial literacy throughout the ECCU. A recent study revealed that 1 in every 25 persons in the region invest in financial securities. Compare that to the US, where 1 in every 4 buy financial securities. So we do have a long way to go to enhancing our capital markets and our understanding of financial securities in the region. And if we are serious about increasing wealth creation and improving the standard of living across the region, there must be a concerted effort to demystify and democratize investing so as to make investing and investment products accessible to all and sundry in the region. And one sure way of achieving this is by exposing the younger generation to investing. And this competition is a meaningful step in that direction. But let me take it a step further. Just as certain subjects are mandatory in school, like your maths, your English, I firmly believe that financial management should be as well. We educate our students to becoming doctors, lawyers, teachers, and all other professions in many other fields, all with the aim of achieving long-term financial stability. Regardless of what career, every individual will be required to make important financial decisions throughout their lives. Therefore, why not educate them from early on how to be good and responsible managers of their finances? I urge the stakeholders, the Ministry of Education officials, teachers alike, to seriously consider the inclusion of financial management concepts within the school curriculum. We, the brokers, stand ready to provide any support or assistance required to make this a reality. You have our full commitments. As chairman of the IWG, I give you my commitment today. Once again, thank you on behalf of the IWG. I'd like to thank all school students, teachers who participated in this year. And we look forward to welcoming even more students in the next competition, which is called the Trevor Blake Regional School Competition. Thank you.
Thanks to all of the committee members for your inspiring words. And before we move on, we will also like to recognize Juliet McFarlane, who's here representing the Ministry of Education in St. Lucia, and she has a few remarks to bring to the.
Good morning, everyone. I am indeed going to be brief. Please permit me to adopt the protocol already established. On behalf of the Permanent Secretary and the Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Youth Development, Sports and Digital Transformation, it is indeed a pleasure and a privilege to join you here today for the 3rd Annual Regional Schools Investment Competition Awards Ceremony. Today, we celebrate more than just winners of a competition. We celebrate innovation, discipline, critical thinking, and the power of education to transform lives. We wish to commend the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange for its vision and continued commitment to youth development across our region. Through initiatives like the Regional Schools Investment Competition, you are not only demystifying the world of finance and investing, but you are also equipping our young people with essential skills, skills that extend far beyond the classroom. This initiative aligns closely with our ministry's mission to prepare students not just for examinations, but for life. In today's rapidly evolving global economy, financial literacy is no longer optional. It is essential. Understanding how money works, how investment grows, and how risks are managed are critical competencies for responsible citizenship and economic empowerment. As educators, we are challenged to ensure that learning is relevant, engaging, and forward-looking. Competitions like this one bring learning to life. They bridge theory and practice, and they inspire students to see themselves as active participants in shaping the economic futures. To our students, I say this: your participation in this competition reflects courage and curiosity. You stepped into a space that many adults find intimidating, the world of stocks, markets, and investment strategy, and you embraced the challenge. That alone is worthy of recognition. I encourage you to continue exploring, questioning, and learning. Whether you pursue careers in finance, in education, technology, or any other field, the skills you have gained here, critical thinking, decision-making, and resilience, will serve you well. To the team from the Struzel Secondary School, Elite Investors, our regional champions, congratulations on this remarkable achievement. Your success is a testament to hard work, teamwork, and strategic thinking. You have set a high standard, and you have made St. Lucia proud. We also celebrate all participating schools, including the team from Vifford Comprehensive Secondary School, for their creativity and innovation. Each of you have demonstrated that excellence comes in many forms: analytical, creative, and collaborative. To the teachers and mentors, I extend a sincere appreciation. Your guidance, your encouragement, and dedication have been instrumental in our students' success. Behind every confident student stands a committed educator. As we celebrate the achievements of our awardees, let us also reaffirm our shared responsibility to nurture talent, encourage innovation, and foster an environment where every individual can reach their fullest potential. Education and economic development go hand in hand, and the success we witness today are the fruits of this powerful partnership. In closing, I congratulate all awardees once again. May your achievements continue to inspire and illuminate the path for others. To the organizers, thank you for your vision and commitment. And to all present, let us continue to work together through education, innovation, and collaboration to build a stronger, more resilient, and more prosperous Eastern Caribbean. I thank you.
Thank you for your words of encouragement and commendation. I know everybody's eagerly anticipating the prize giving, but just before, we have a nice special guest, Mr. Cletus Springer, who is very experienced in investing and who very willingly accepted our invitation to speak to you today. Mr. Cletus Springer is a trained urban planner, public administrator, communicator, environmentalist, and award-winning writer. In January 2021, he retired from the Organization of American States, based in Washington, D.C., after serving 14 years as director of the Department of Sustainable Development. Before joining the OAS, Springer served as St. Lucia's Public Service as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and Public Utilities, 1992 to 1994, and the Ministry of Planning, Development, Environment and Housing, 1994 to 1997. During this time, he served as St. Lucia's alternate governor for the World Bank. On leaving the public service, he served as advisor, policy, and strategy development with the ECSE Commission. Between 2001 and 2008, Mr. Springer ran a consulting practice that advised governments in the Caribbean, Asia, Pacific, and Latin American regions, as well as intergovernmental entities such as CARICOM, UN Environment, UNDP, ECLAC, the Commonwealth Secretariat, World Bank, PAHO, ILO, and OAS, among others, on sustainable development. Mr. Springer now serves as chairman of the Caribbean Natural Resources Institute, CANARI, his second 5-year stint in this role, and as chairman of the board of governors of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. He also serves on the board of directors of Panos Caribbean, the Cropper Foundation, and the Small Grants Program of the Global Environment Facility, respectively. Mr. Springer also has a solid background in industrial relations, having served for a decade in various capacities, including as Assistant Director Secretary of the St. Lucia Employers Federation, Labor Inspector, and National Insurance Inspector. Mr. Springer is a graduate of the University of the West Indies, Public Administration and Mass Communication, respectively, Oxford Brookes University Urban Planning, and Aberdeen University. Environmental Impact Assessment. He is a visiting scholar at George Washington University Energy and Environmental Management Institute. So he has a lot going for him, and I'm sure he still will be able to break it down for us here and our students and inspire you to learn more about investing. And the topic he will be focusing on today is getting a head start on investing. Welcome.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. I will use the protocols already established in the interest of time. I had no idea that this competition was going on. until I got the invitation from Gail to speak to you today. I have to say it is the best thing since sliced bread in investing. Um, if I had the start that you're having now in investing, I rather suspect that I'd be further along in my life in terms of achieving my life's goals. But I'm getting there, and I'm hoping that you will get there too. I want to commend all of the organizations who have been involved in this. And I particularly want to endorse the idea of naming future competitions after Mr. Trevor Blake. I knew Trevor well, and I can attest to the tremendous hard work that he put into the ECSE to bring it to the stage that it is today. I want to ask you, the students, a few, just one question as we start. I wouldn't pick on anybody. Maybe you can do this by a show of hands. How many of you have a vision for where you would be in 30 years? Let's take 30 years. How many of you have a plan, a vision, a goal, where you'd be the next 30 years? Anybody? Five years? 10 years? 15 years? You didn't have a 5, but you have a 15, right? That's good. All right, so why am I asking this? It's important to have goals in life. And if you don't have goals, you don't have a purpose for living. It is your goals that give you the desire, the energy to strive and to achieve. And in the particular context of investing, you have to have a goal. If you don't have a goal for your investing, you're not going to take it seriously. And I'm assuming that all of you here have goals that you want to achieve with investing. There is one of my favorite parables in the Bible is the parable about the talents. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that parable of the talents. It's a parable about, let's say he's a company owner, a businessman, who was going off on a long trip. And before he left, he called all his servants before them, about his 3 leading servants. And he gave each of them a certain amount of talents. And you might consider talents to be an investment, a donation. He gave one $100, he gave another $50, and he gave another $25. And when he came back, he called them to him to ask them to account for the money that he had given them. The one that he had given $100 decided to invest it, to make it work for him. And when he came back, he was able to say, well, Chief, you gave me $100, I'm giving you back $200. The chief was happy. He gave him a high five, and so on moved on. The one that he gave $50 says, yes, I put it to good use, I'm able to give you $100. The third one that he gave the 25, gave him back his $25. And the chief was very disappointed. He said, man, I gave you $25, you did nothing with it, I'm disappointed. And he fired him, said, take your bundle, leave and go. And those that he gave, that gave him back a return on his investment. And he didn't tell them it was an investment, he just gave it to them to see what they would do with it. So the lesson from this parable is, what will you do with your talents, right? When you're called to account by those who gave it to you. And that is what I want to speak to you today about, investing early. And I'm so pleased that we are having this discussion today and that you've been involved in this competition. And while I sat there in my chair, I sent a note to the principal of the Sir Lewis Community College, asking her to get in touch with Gail with a view to having a course on financial literacy and investment as part of our school of continuing education at the college. because I believe it is very important, not that we have students like you, when you come to join us, to have you to be involved in investment. Now, growing up as a boy, investing was pretty much a foreign word to me. I didn't even have a piggy bank, to talk about. But I saw from my parents' example how they tried to save in the first instance, right? And you're not going to be able to invest if you do not save. And I know that there's a distinction between the two. But you have to save so that you can invest. Because in some cases, there's a threshold, there's a limit on where you can start to invest. And granted, that limit is starting to drop. You can now invest with $500, right? But you may not have $500. So you have to save to achieve that $500. But saving is important, but it is not the end of the whole enterprise for you. So saving is putting your money aside for wet days, so to speak, right? And you need to do that even though you invest, all right? It is not a wise idea for you to invest all your savings, okay? I want to urge you to, this is a number one principle. You must set aside some money for wet days. But investing is growing a certain amount of your savings, right, so that you can get quicker returns. And you would have learned this from your course, I'm sure. The average interest rate on a savings account in a bank is what, 2%? Okay? The average return on an investment in a government security, the St. Lucia government puts out calls for saving all the time, and Mr. Morissette at the back sends me a little email every now and then and saying, here's what's going. St. Vincent government is giving this, Grenada's government giving, and the average interest rate on an investment in a government security is what? You must have learned this in your course. What is the average interest rate on a government security in the Eastern Caribbean? It's not 2%, I can guarantee you that. Right, okay, so you can go as much as, at one point, you were getting as much as 7% interest on government bonds in the Eastern Caribbean. So compare 2% on your savings to 7%, right? It's a no-brainer, right? You agree? All right, and at the end of 1 year, 7% will do more for you than 2%. And what can you do with that 7%? You can reinvest it. You can move some of it into your savings. And I encourage you to do that. I do it all the time because the beauty of having money in savings is like money in reserve, right? It's a lot easier for you when an emergency comes for you to go into your savings account. But if you keep all your money in investing, then you don't have ready access to that money. Okay, you will have to do what is called liquidate it, all right, so that you can use it. So if you're, a member of your family has to have an urgent operation or something like that, you do not have to go through the whole harangue or selling your shares so that you can get money to do that. So investing is really like planting a tree. And if you plant it early, it'll grow tall and strong. But if you wait too long, it will still grow, but it will not grow as fast as it would have otherwise. Now, I want to say a few words about risks. Life is about risks. You can't go through life without risk. Every decision you make has some element of risk involved. And that's the case with investing, all right? And Gail and Dominic Morissette at the back there, they're the ones who advise me and say to me, we have done the research, we've looked at the government setup, we have looked at the budget, we've looked at the government finances, and we think it's a safe bet if you invest in a government sovereign call, so to speak. So I am taking the word, because I don't have the time to do the background checks myself and my due diligence, although sometimes I do. And when they call and they say to me, here's what's going, I'll say, I'll pass. I'll pass on that one. And I'm saying this to say to you that you have to be alert. In investing, you have to be alert to what is going on around you. You have to watch the news, right? You have to make sure you understand what's going on in the world. What's happening in Iran is going to have a ripple effect on what's happening here. Okay? It is going to impact our government, and I'm looking forward to the budget, and I'm hoping all of you will listen to the budget that is going to be delivered by the Prime Minister on April 23. Because that budget will tell you $2.8 billion, I think it is, ECE, that the government plans to invest in the development of the country. But what are going to be the contingencies that are going to address this? Will gas prices have to go up? And if gas prices go up, the cost of living will go up. And if the cost of living goes up, then it will mean that companies have less money to invest, and the economic growth that is anticipated is not likely to happen. That does not mean, however, that you don't invest, because there are some situations that factor in what is happening in the world and are still able to give you, if not give you 6% return, they might be able to give you 3%, which is still better than the 2% that you will get from your savings account. So, to recap, starting early, small amounts work, put it aside, every month. When I first started working, I give you the story, my salary was, can you guess? Back in 1975, $300. $3 big $100 was my salary in 1975. And what did I do? My bank was my mother. Okay? I took my first paycheck, I went to the bank, cashed it, put my money in my pocket, and I chose the safest roads that I could find to my home, right? So nobody hombre me, and I gave my mother my money. And she put a certain amount in the bank account in my name, kept a certain amount for food, etc. So you don't need a lot of money. And when I needed a loan and I'd go to my mother, somehow she was always able to give me more than I gave her. And why was she able to do this? Because she made it work. She put it in susus, and I hope some of you at least know what a susu is. None of you have heard about susu? Nobody knows about a susu? All right, when you go home, ask your mother or father, what is a susu? Mama, what is a susu? All right? Now, a few key points. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined enough to be consistent. You can't put in $10 today, and when you feel like it, you put in another $10 next week, right? To be disciplined, it would mean that a lot of the things your friends are doing, spending money, you cannot be doing that, right? If every time I drove down from work and I passed by a watering hole called Cozy, right? And my friend said to me, Springer, come and have a drink, man. I said, nah, boy, I in a hurry, right? You have to make these kinds of decisions, because you stop and have a drink, you buy a round, right? Another fella buy a round, and you feel you have to buy another round, and when you know it, right? You have no money left, right? So you will not be achieving your goals if you do like everybody else does and just spend and spend and spend and spend, right? You must be very focused. Your first job, I would encourage you, please, 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 do not buy a car unless you really need a car. All right? I bought a car because I was getting what is called a traveling allowance from the government. Okay? That helped me to increase my net pay. Right? And I bought a cheap car, second-hand car, brand new second-hand, right? I bought a Volkswagen Beetle that gave me something like 60 miles to the gallon. So I was not putting out a lot of money for gas, right? So I know everybody wants to get the ride and get into the Vezel and Lexus. Do not buy a car as your first major investment after a job. I beg you, don't do that. You will just be going downhill. And I say this literally and figuratively. Right? You're going to be buying brakes, fixing shocks, all kind of. Don't do that. Put your money in an investment account, and it will do a lot more for you. You'll be able to buy your house later and stuff like that. Okay? So I will end very quickly and say this, right? I've told you about setting goals, etc. I've told you about the importance of building the right habits, the importance of being patient, being disciplined, taking calculated risks, right? And they're calculated risks and vitae risk, right? As we say in St. Lucia. The risk that you take must be calculated risk. You look at all of your options, and then you decide going forward. So here's my challenge to you. Take one small step towards investing, okay? Learn a little about it every day. Ask questions, Talk to people who know about money and how to make money work. I go on YouTube all the time, and I watch YouTube clips. Warren Buffett and these kinds of people who are big honchos in investing, and they tell you how to make money work for you. But I want to leave you with one final thought. When you look at what's happening in the world today, and all of the headache that billionaires are creating in the world, right? Because they do not have a clear idea of the good things that they can do with their money, right? Your goal is not to become a billionaire with no conscience or a millionaire with no conscience, okay? All of what's happening in Iran today, right, is the cause of billionaires who have a design for the world that has nothing to do with your interests and my interests and so on. It's just a matter of power. Never think of money and wealth as equating to power. Let your conscience speak, right? And use the money to grow your communities, okay? To make St. Lucia, to make the Caribbean, the Eastern Caribbean, wherever country you're from, a better place, okay? So thank you very much. I will not say no more. I know you're waiting for your certificate, so I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Springer, for your wise words and tips, and we'll all take heed. We just invite Gail Cumberbatch of First Citizens Investment Services just to present a small token of our appreciation to Mr. Springer. Okay. So now we've come to the section of the program we've all eagerly anticipated. I'd first like to share the sentiments of the judging panel, and just to say, in terms of the evaluations, the students are evaluated. 60% is based on their portfolio valuation, and 40% is based on their strategic approach, their goal setting, and how they traded securities based on those goals. So I would like to share the sentiment of the judging panel, who indicated that competition was very keenly contested this year, and the quality of the submissions continue to improve year over year. So a round of applause for you. I'd also like to take an opportunity to identify the judges this year. It was Tizia Nero of the ECSE. She's actually behind there. Shahid, oh my gosh. Khalid Sharan. Is Shahid here? Oh, there we go. Shahid is right here in the audience. Samantha Lewis is right here. We don't have Laurent Hadley, but Laura Hadley of Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but I'm sure he's joining us online, and Gail Cumberbatch, who's here with us in audience as well. So thank you to them. We'll first start with winners of the video submissions. So the video submission, which showcased essentially the strategic approach of the students. And the most well-presented strategic approach goes to SMSS Prosperity Pioneers of St. Martin's Secondary School, St. Vincent and Grenadines. And I think we have them online joining us on Zoom. And I will call on the students and teacher guides to receive their certificates. And if you can stay standing with your certificates when I call your name, please. We have Delroy Adams. And I believe we have Gavri David of First Citizens Investment Services there in St. Vincent assisting with the presentation. We have Nasir Antoine. Joshua King. Carter Francis. Oshai Alexander. And Amani Hackshaw. So a round of applause. We also have certificates of appreciation to the teacher guides of SMSS Prosperity Pioneers St. Martin Secondary School, Miss Ashika Charles and Miss Brianna Jacobs. We also are presenting a cash prize for the video award of $250 to the group. Congratulations. And I believe we to also showcase their video, if you can showcase their video. Congratulations to you.
SMSS Prosperity Pioneers. Our investment strategy focused on socially responsible investing, diversification, and choosing profitable companies with strong growth potential. We aimed to build a balanced portfolio that supported company development while maximizing returns. We invested in ECSE Native Bank because the bank showed strong financial recovery, new technological upgrades, and expansion plans across the Eastern Caribbean. These factors pointed toward long-term stability and growth. We purchased shares in LTS as there is a high demand for tech services, as well as the business operates in multiple countries in the ECCU. The business also shows strong performance. We continued buying Dominica Solar because renewable energy is growing rapidly across the region. Climate change is driving higher demand for solar solutions, and the company operates in every ECCU island. We diversified across finance, tourism, technology, renewable energy, utilities, and agro-processing. This helped us balance our risk and improve our potential return. We sold Elite Investment Bank because of a CEO scandal that created uncertainty. We later sold Dale Supermarkets, ULEC, and A Plus Hardware to reallocate funds into stronger performers, especially companies showing upward market momentum. Most of our trades were news-driven. Natural disaster news affected A Plus Hardware. Business expansion news supported our ECMB and LTS buys, and market dips helped us buy DSOL at good entry points. If we competed again, we would diversify earlier. We learned how real financial markets work, how to interpret company performance, how diversification protects our portfolio, and how big news events can affect share prices. Thank you for watching. We are the SMSS Prosperity Pioneers.
And just for clarification, for the competition, we use fictitious businesses. So you may not have recognized some of those businesses, and we also issue market news on a daily basis. We do that so that we can have more price fluctuations within the short time frame of the competition. Okay, and the second video winner is Nocturnal Invest of Viewfort Comprehensive School. They won for the most creative video. So we call, if I can get Tizia and Samantha to assist with the prizes. We have Viewfort here in person in St. Lucia, Viewfort Comprehensive School, and we start with Zane James. I hope that's correct. Zane James. And we ask the students to stay after. Janil Mongtut. Jonathan Yang. Tristan Bernard. Kevin Snag. Shanissa Joseph. And we also congratulate teacher guide Zana Octave. Who is shy to come up? Okay, we have another teacher accepting on her behalf. That's okay. And we also present the winning prize of $250 to the group. Congratulations. And we'll now showcase their video.
We are Nocturnal Invest from BFCSS St. Lucia. In this competition, we managed a $50,000 ECSE portfolio, focusing on smart, research-driven decisions while balancing growth and risk.
Our strategy focused on balance, investing in high-growth companies while supporting them with stable dividend-paying firms. This helped us grow confidently while limiting risk.
Invested in Green Garden Resort, the #1 hotel in the Caribbean, because its global recognition and continued expansion make it a strong, long-term growth opportunity. We added more Agrobites Dominica after its major partnership with Massey Stores St. Lucia, a deal that boosts regional demand and positions the company for increased holiday season sales. We also purchased additional shares in Liam Yuga Technology Services, the ECCU's ICT leader. The upcoming all-in-one digital platform and history of securing major contracts signal real future growth. To stabilize our portfolio, we expanded our holding in ECSE Native Bank, ECSE Mobile Solutions, and Dale Supermarket, three reliable dividend-paying companies that balance risk and provide steady income.
We exited Elite Investment Bank because the leadership scandal created major reputational and operational risks. We also sold A+ Hardware since rising import costs and higher shipping expenses were squeezing their profit margins. We reduced our holdings in ULEX because its income trend was declining and the company showed weaker growth signals. We then took partial profits from Green Garden Resort when US travel issues caused a slowdown in bookings. These sell decisions protected our portfolio and kept us aligned with our long-term strategy.
As a team, we learned how real investing works, analyzing financials, tracking market news, and studying trends before each trade. It strengthened our teamwork, confidence, and decision-making.
This competition taught us how disciplined investing can build real value. If we could compete again, we would act even faster on early opportunities.
We are Nocturnal Invest.
Okay, so congratulations to the video awardees. And we now move to Grenada, where we will be presenting the prize for run-up school to Boys on the Hill Investment, Grenada Boys Secondary School. We ask Vonlin Hope or any other representative from the Grenada Corp Bank Limited to present the awards on behalf. And we will be presenting to these students, we'll be presenting them with the gift certificates. They're also going to receive an investment gift voucher valued at EC $270 each. They will receive a branded gift bag, as well as with goodies from all of the advisory committee members, member companies in that bag. And they will also receive a silver medal. So we start with Erickson Howard. We then move on to Shamarion Ross. Okay, I guess this student is missing. It's okay. We then move on to Caleb Williams. Shay Toussaint, or Toussaint. They look so smart in their jacket, right? And Jaden Peer. Congratulations. We now call on Ms. Joycelyn Emmons, their teacher guide. She's receiving a certificate of appreciation, a voucher with a waiver of broker fees on her first investment, a tote bag with branded gifts from our partners here at our Regional Schools Investment Competition. And if all of the students can stand with her while she receives a check for the school of EC $3,000. Congratulations to the team, Boys on the Hill, Grenada Boys Secondary School. And now we get to the overall regional champion, who's right here in-house. So the students, and we'll ask Tizia and Samantha to assist. The students of Allied Investors Chozel Secondary School will be receiving a backpack with branded gift items from the various partners, certificates of achievement, gold medal, an investment gift voucher valued at EC $540 each. We call on Melanie Poyot. Melanie Poyot. We also call on Deidre Dennis, or Denny. Kaylee Zoe Flavian. Alicia Jean-Baptiste. Kayan Simon. And I hope I pronounce your name correctly, Faith Shaleman. Shalemine. Faith Shalemine. Thank you for the correction. We now recognize the teacher guides. They will receive a certificate of appreciation, a voucher with a waiver of both fees on their first investment, a tote bag with branded gifts from the regional schools investment competition partners. Ms. Cheryl Ann James. Mrs. Stephanie Theophane Charles. And I now invite Samantha Lewis from the ECSRC, who has a special presentation to make to the teacher guides.
Good afternoon once again. The Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission is pleased to present its inaugural ECSRC Award for Excellence in Teaching and Mentorship. This award recognizes the invaluable support, guidance, and commitment of educators who have played a critical role in shaping their students' participation and success in this competition. Today, we recognize 2 teachers whose dedication and mentorship contributed to the outstanding performance of the winning school. So I now congratulate and invite Ms. Shirley Ann James and Mrs. Stephanie Theophane Charles to please come forward to receive this recognition from the ECSRC.
Okay, and we now have another presentation to the school. We ask that Gail Cumberbatch of First Citizen Investment Services provide the school with their plaque, recognizing them as the regional champion for the 3rd annual Regional Schools Investment Competition. I call on representatives from Bank of St. Lucia Limited to present the check to the school for $6,500. And nobody stands behind her. So 3 this way. Yeah, you come this way. And we're not done just yet. We invite Jaron Burnett to present the school with the Sir K. Dwight Venner Regional Champion Trophy. Honorable Sir K. Dwight Venner served as Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank from December 1989 to November 2015. Prior to that, he served in the position of Director of Finance and Planning in the St. Lucia government between November 1981 and November 1989. The Honorable Sir Dwight was an economist by training and was educated at the University of the West Indies, Mona, Jamaica, where he obtained both a Bachelor of Science and a Master of Science degree in economics. He served as a junior research fellow at the Institute of Social and Economic Research of the University of the West Indies, and then as a lecturer in economics from 1974-1981. He wrote and published extensively in the areas of monetary and international economics, central banking, public finance, economic development, political economy, and international economic relations. Sir K. Dwight Venner was a visionary and avid promoter of money and capital market development in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. He was instrumental in development of the Eastern Caribbean securities markets and infrastructure to address gaps in the ECCU's financial structure to facilitate wealth creation and capital raising in the ECCU. So you can present the Sir K. Dwight Venner Regional Champion Trophy, and this is a rotational trophy. Congratulations. Before we bring the prize giving to a close, we'd like to invite students from the runner-up school, Boys on a Hill Investment, to make a few remarks, and then we will invite the students from the winning school to make some remarks.
Good morning. My name is Caleb Williams. I would like to say this competition was very fundamental to my team and I. We learned how to handle our money at our young age, and I will say before this competition, I never knew what is trading stock or stock trading. I only heard it on probably news and the media, but now I have an understanding on what I should do with my money and how it can shape my future. I would also like to say that this competition helped me improve on my vocabulary skills, reading skills, and even communication skills. I would say that I will now know how to handle my money in terms of investing, spending, and saving. I thank you.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm Erickson Howard from the Greater Boys Secondary School. During this experience, one of the biggest things I've learned is that not every exciting opportunity is a smart one. So in stock trading is a pretty good way of helping getting into talk of decision making, and that investing comes with risk, and also high rewards comes with high risk as well. So that's why we need it takes skills, and on behalf of the Benita Boys Secondary School, I just want to thank the organizers, and thank you for inviting us to participate. Yeah, thanks.
Representing Allied Investors to say their remarks.
Good day, everyone. My name is Kian Simon from the Choselle Secondary School, and I'd like to say that the opportunity to participate in the regional security investment competition is one that I truly appreciate. We gained a better understanding of how the stock market works in terms of the factors that influence share prices, such as natural disasters, political unrest, technological disruptions, economic fluctuation, and regulatory adjustments, among others. Anticipating how much of an impact these factors would have on share prices of the different companies and the market as a whole was a major challenge we learned how to navigate.
I am Daidra Dennis. We also learned the importance of having an investment strategy as a guide for decision making on whether to buy or sell, how much to buy or sell, and in what companies. Another key factor in the decision making was the idea of risk diversification as a way of lowering the risk attached to investment. We gained the experience of seeing how the behaviors of other investors in the market could affect the value of our investment portfolio.
My name is Kaylee Zoe Flavian, and I'd also like to say that we gained a better appreciation for the value of teamwork, especially in terms of making decisions, sharing the outcomes of those decisions, and coming up with ways of dealing with the undesirable outcomes of those decisions. Moreover, we gained the experience of sharing the joy of a good investment decision and watching our portfolio grow.
Finally, we wish to thank the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange for organizing such a relevant competition. And just a lighter note, we appreciate all the ways our name was pronounced, but we call ourselves the elite investors.
Thank you for that correction. It's the A-lit investors. Okay. Thank you to everyone. It was indeed a pleasure to see. And by the way, there were 20 schools that participated from across the ECCU region. We're hoping this year we will have a lot more because we do have quite a few more schools in the region. So we want to see more schools on board participating in the competition. And as we bring this ceremony to a close, we'd invite Gail Cumberbatch, who will present the vote of thanks. Congratulations to all the teams.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to establish the protocol already. I'd like to adopt the protocol already established. As we bring this wonderful Regional School Investment Competition Award ceremony to a close, I have the honor of expressing our heartfelt thanks. Congratulations again to our 2025-2026 winners, the A-lit investors of the Choiseul Secondary School, and the runner-up, the Boys on the Hill investors from the Grenada Boys Secondary School. You have truly set the bar high. We also congratulate our winners from the video categories, the St. Martin's High School of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the Vieux Fort Comprehensive Secondary School from St. Lucia. To all our participating schools, we commend your enthusiasm, your energy, and your competitive spirit. You have demonstrated that the future of investments are in very capable hands. This competition would not have been possible without our dedicated school principals and teachers who have guided and support the students every step of the way. We sincerely thank you. We also extend our appreciation to the ministries of the education across the 8 participating member countries for their continued support in making this initiative possible and championing the development of our young people. We extend heartfelt gratitude to our guest speaker, a vivid investor, Mr. Cletus Springer. Your insightful and inspiring remarks, which gave us so much to think about. A special thanks also goes out to Janelle Montoute from the Vieux Fort Comprehensive, who ably invoked God's blessing. We thank the National Skills Development Center for hosting us and the technical team for our excellent support, including Great Vision Television and Alan Cherry from Cherry Photography. We also express our appreciation for the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, particularly the Corporate Relations Department and the ECCE agency offices in Grenada and St. Vincent, who made the Zoom connection possible so that the region can participate. A sincere thank you to the competition's planners and advisory committee spearheaded by the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, comprising of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission and the licensed investment brokers across the OECS. Your commitment to financial education and the support of this competition is deeply appreciated. A very special mention must be made to today's host and master and mistress of ceremonies and the champion of this event, Ms. Yuluka Amory Brown. Let's give her a round of applause. Your dedication and hard work to bring this event to life is appreciated, and we thank you. Finally, to everyone who contributed today's success, including the organizers, supporting members of the media, and attendees, thank you for making this event both meaningful and memorable. With this, I wish you a safe travel, and may the future of investment be as successful as our winners today. And thank you.
And this brings our ceremony to a close. We invite you to participate in some refreshments, and we wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.